Hey everyone, NetNet here, and welcome back to another Marvel's Avengers game video, where I tell you everything you need to know about the Marvel's Avengers game. Today we're resuming where we left off, talking about San Diego Comic-Con and gameplay. The next updates from the game were at San Diego Comic-Con. We didn't get any actual video during this time, but Marvel's Avengers live tweeted a lot of stuff, which is still important. The gameplay trailer was shown to the audience, and it started off with Thor. They said he can do melee and ranged attacks on ground and in air. He can pin an enemy in place with Mjolnir and leaving him suspended while finishing off other enemies with his fist. He could use a radial wind blast, which is one of his heroic abilities. Him pinning an enemy in place while finishing off people with his fist got me really excited. It just sounds like such a cool thing to do. Using some Mjolnir attacks just like that is so cool. Next is Iron Man. He uses his pulsar blast and micro rockets to take out grounded and airborne enemies, and he has a heroic unibeam blast that deals massive damage to a group of assailants. The unibeam blast is confirmed. This is really exciting. I'm sure I'll be using that and the micro rockets a ton when I get the game. Next up, they covered Hulk. Immediately after landing, he picks up an enemy and uses him as a melee weapon against nearby enemies. After arriving at the pulsar tank, he picks it up, flips it over, and kicks the driver out of sight. This is so cool. It gets me so hype. Like, he has never once used an enemy as a weapon in a Marvel movie, or at least an MCU one. And this is what's different, because they get to do more stuff. They have more time to do this kind of stuff in the game. This is why the game is gonna be so good. Trust my word here. Next, they said Captain America. They were featuring him next. He was investigating why the helicarrier autopilot has activated. The helicarrier was infiltrated by enemies, and Cap takes them on with a barrage of melee attack combos. Cap's heroic bounces his shield between nearby enemies and stuns them. He can slam his shield to the ground and cause major damage to anyone in close proximity. Never saw that in movies, and this is why it's cool, because it's from comics and stuff. They're drawn from over 80 years of Marvel history. They've said it a lot, and it's good because a lot of fans think this is an MCU game. All I know is MCU. And this is more than that. This is an original Avengers story. So it's just, this kind of stuff gets me super excited. Next up in the trailer, they showed Black Widow. She's the one who actually fights Taskmaster in the story. I think we're going to cover why in a later episode, more about Black Widow, or maybe in one after that, because I'm not sure where we're going to go from there in this channel. We'll see. He takes the air. We saw his jetpack in the first trailer. It doesn't hinder Natasha's pursuit, however. She jumps on his back and throws punches until he's grounded. Black Widow attacks Taskmaster with her wide array of acrobatic abilities and weapons, including electrified batons. I'm pretty sure these are going to be her way of using melee in the story, like melee attacks. Her heroic cloaks her with invisibility. This is really cool because we know stealth missions are a thing in video games in general, and I think a stealth mission with a stealth spy, like, nothing makes more sense to have in a video game called The Avengers. This footage that we see here was released online after Gamescom finished. Gamescom was about a month later. Here in this gameplay, we see at the top, health bar. On the right is people talking. We see Avengers talking to each other. I think Nick Fury's talking to them. We see objectives on the left. I am Iron Man. It said Odinson. At the bottom left, it shows your XP gained. The bottom right, it shows heroics. It's really cool. This level is the beginning of the game, and the first time you'll play as the Avengers, so it's an introduction to the heroes and how they control. Think of it as a tutorial, because that's really what it is. Everything is linear here. This is just teaching you how to play the game. I've heard the devs, they took off the tutorial things that told you what to do, but they're still in here. There's probably a cut of it somewhere online. After you finish the prologue, the world will open up. Of course, it's what happens after a prologue usually, but you will use a reclaimed helicarrier as your base of operations. Awesome. Once I heard the E3 interviews mention a hub or a base where we can go to different places in the world from, I thought, what other thing better to use in an Avengers game than a helicarrier? Just makes sense. You launch single player and co-op missions in hotspots around the globe from there. Next, at San Diego Comic-Con, a short video was shown explaining how you'll customize the iconic heroes with classic, fan favorite, and all-new outfits. This definitely could have been the overview trailer that I'll make a video on later. You will also unlock powerful skills and new gear that suits your playstyle, and explore a variety of environments filled with challenging missions. So once again, this is telling us about gear, customizing, and helping us fit our playstyle. Next, we hear about something new and big news. This is our first word we get about the post-campaign world. They say in the post-campaign world, you can play missions with any available hero in your roster to defend Earth from escalating threats. Next, there was an Sdcc exclusive look at a handful of in-game alternative outfits in Marvel's Avengers, some inspired by over 80 years of Marvel history, and some other ones all new designs created by Crystal. They mentioned specifically Iron Man's original Sin armor and Hulk's Joe Fixit suit, both classic and iconic suits from the comics. The game is also working with Gentle Giant, who I can only assume is a statue company, to make a 12-inch Captain America statue for the collector's edition. It's pretty cool. I don't know if I personally am going to get it, but it's still really cool. Next is just a bit of information that we got in between San Diego Comic-Con and Gamescom, where the actual footage that you're seeing on screen has been released. So we got news that in the 5 years since the events of A-Day, a new evil threat has emerged, Advanced Idea Mechanics, also known as AIM. They believe that science, not superheroes, will save the world. So this is either one of, if not the big bads of our news story here. So that's really cool. Next, the game on social media started doing weeks, like hero weeks, highlighting each character. So this is what my next 5 videos is going to be about. So stay tuned if you want to know all about Captain America, because that's what's next. Subscribe, maybe hit the notification bell if you want to know when those go live. Next, just more commentary on this gameplay we're seeing. And here's some of my favorite things from this trailer. When Thor suspends the enemies in the air and then slams them into the ground, we saw that earlier. Absolutely insane. Iron Man's Unibeam creates a large area of fire, and it even destroys some of the environment. We saw Thor can do it too, and destroyable environments is probably one of my favorite things from this game. So excited to do that. Hulk picking up a piece of the ground and just swinging it around and throwing it. Amazing. And then the thunderclap, the thunderclap is probably the most iconic Hulk move ever since Smashing. Also during this trailer, I don't know if we'll get to see it, but there's Kamala Khan, who looks like Miss Marvel, falling into a blue mist. Miss Marvel in the comics, she got her powers from a blue Terrigen mist. In the first trailer, we saw a blue crystal powering this ship. It is probably a Terrigen crystal, and Terrigen is known for giving the Inhumans their powers. Miss Marvel is an Inhuman, and coming from someone that's a few months in the future from once all this stuff is released, Inhumans are going to be a kind of big part of the story. Captain America can grab enemies and throw them into the ground. A good YouTuber that covers all this stuff, besides me, is Sanders Presents. Well, also Lejeune, but Sanders Presents has actually played the game, and he said Captain America plays a lot like the Arkham series, like Batman. That's really fun. Thor, kind of like God of War. Black Widow, kind of like the Tomb Raider. That's great news to hear. We saw AIM, or whoever the bad guys were on A-Day, had smoke grenades. Black Widow, I don't think we'll get to see it here, but I'm sure you'll see it in some of my videos. Black Widow pushes Taskmaster's head into the ground mid-fight. It is just so badass. It's my favorite probably part from Black Widow. Taskmaster here, he has a jetpack, a shield, and a flaming sword. A sword and shield are probably his most iconic things besides maybe a skull for a head. Super excited. And Natasha can grapple to him. So in this trailer, we get 2 more glimpses of traversal. Natasha can grapple to Taskmaster, and we see that in the trailer. And also Hulk bounding, leaping from truck to truck, going far distances. I'm assuming that's going to be some of his traversal too. So all this stuff is getting me super excited. Subscribe if you want to learn all about Captain America and all about the other Avengers. We'll be posting about them soon. Like if you really enjoyed this video so far. Comment below what you want to see, what you want to know, because I know a lot about this game and I can answer them. I will be reading every comment I can. I'll make a video about it soon. This video should release May 3rd. I'm recording it May 1st, and as of today, we got some new information, and there's going to be a Summer Game Fest where there'll be new information. Marvel's Avengers will be part of this, so we could get new information kind of soon. Thank you very much for watching. See ya!